So you did it. You turned your phone on again.
I did turn my phone on again.
I can't believe it. Well, today we have a very special guest.
We do.
So this is Donna Schumacher. And a little history on that. When I first met Donna Schumacher, I was like best friends with her son, Randy. And I was like a first or second grader. And Donna came in because Randy forgot something. And back in that day, I never seen makeup or nothing before. Don came in and I went, Randy, is that your mom? And he goes, yes. And I go, that's the most beautiful woman I ever seen. She blew me away. I thought, wow, and I've always said to Donna, every time I've seen her, whether we were in the choir or not, every time I've seen her, I'd always say, Donna, you look amazingly hot. And I've always believed that. You are that person. So.
I love it. That is great.
So moving into that, Donna, where did you come from? Were you born in Wanda or?
No, I come from 11 miles south of Sleepy Eye.
Okay.
And 1 mile east of the Wanda store. The Wanda store was, the Wanda, sorry, I'm getting myself mixed up. Elbin store.
Oh.
We were in Elbin Township, and we had a store which was back then kind of like a Senex station is now.
Okay.
And they sold everything. Like what I had in Wanda.
Yeah.
Oh.
So people could come in and pick up the necessities. And went to high school in St. Mary's in Sleepy Eye.
Your maiden name was?
Bauer.
Bauer. Okay.
And I still have a nephew, Jim Bauer, that is on the home place, the Century Farm now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
So after graduation, I wound up in Wanda. And I was there till we moved over here.
Well, if my theory is right, as pretty as you were, were you a homecoming queen?
Yes, I was.
I knew it.
I read that. I was wondering where you found that out.
Tom finds everything.
I guess so.
So then you met Donnie.
Right, in high school.
In high school, okay.
And, well,
you don't have to tell us everything, but.
Okay, I'm not.
so
I quit.
That's it. Oh, okay. So then did he go to Korea? He was a war veteran then.
When we married, but we met in high school and he went to service, and when he came home, we got married. So
okay.
So a lot of people in Wanda went to service. How
at that time?
Yeah. So how did that long range? Was there phones? How did you communicate?
Letters.
Just letters? No phone calls.
No, we didn't have cell phones back then, and it cost quite a bit to be talking on a phone all the time. So it was letters. Then, of course, he was in the States for just that while, and then he got shipped over to Taiwan or Korea.
Korea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So he actually was in the fight that they had over there then.
And he lived there, but he was not in when they were fighting.
Okay.
Oh, okay. He was just stationed there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What did he do?
He was a sergeant first class, and he took care of the, what do you call it? Tap, tap, tap.
Oh, the
Morse code.
Right.
Oh.
Forgot what it was called.
Wow.
That's interesting.
It takes talent.
Well, my wife, she knows the Morse code too, because if I do something wrong, she does this.
Maybe I should learn that.
I know what it means too. So then when you got the Wanda, there was a 4-H club. Did you have a role in that?
I basically got it started.
Okay.
But they didn't seem to care for it that well. And it was hard to get leaders.
Right.
And it got to be too much for one person.
Right.
So we kind of dropped it.
Okay.
But it was nice. I learned a lot when I was in it, and I had to read up on it and everything and what you had to do for it. But it was nice. It would have been nice to continue, but it just didn't work.
Yeah. I think it went for a few years though.
No,
Just
No.
one?
couple.
Couple of years? Okay. I was in that. I learned to knit.
You learned to knit.
Yeah. I knitted myself a stocking cap with 4 needles. It was kind of cool. Yeah, I remember that. And then Ray Bordy used to be the store owner, and then that went
Right.
down. Why did you took that over for a little bit?
Yes, I took it over for a little bit because I had a weak moment.
Just one?
Well, I have several of those.
Okay.
I have those too. It's okay.
My husband asked, well, Kathy Weber was running it at that time.
Okay.
And then one day my husband asked me out for dinner that night. Should we go out and eat? So I said yes. And then he sprang it on me. If I buy Kathy out, will you run the store? Well, I thought, can't be very hard. So I said yes. So that's how I ended up in there. And I liked it, but I found out that is a lot more work than what I thought it is. Because you had to keep up with your ordering, and pricing, and
Yup.
and getting somebody to work for you when you couldn't work one day. It got to be work.
Oh yeah.
And tiring. I'd be so tired when I get home at night. I just thought, oh, I just want to sit for half an hour. But then I had to get dinner ready.
Non-stop.
It was nonstop.
Yup.
You got to meet a lot of people. I mean, everybody wanted. You got to come face to face with them. Was that
With a lot of salespeople, more or less. The store actually was always, I think, treated as like a Cenex. You bought what you ran out of.
Oh.
Because most people would check the page, the prices in the newspaper,
Okay.
and go buy the specials.
That's why the store didn't make it.
And then I had to buy from a wholesaler that did not give you the prices like the bigger.
Oh, because you didn't buy big
Wholesale.
commodities.
Commodities of it.
And so the charging had to be higher. Otherwise, you wouldn't make a profit.
Right.
And that was the downfall of having these little, like the store.
Yeah.
But then Lyle came and made a comment that I wanted to sell the place. That he could open it up between the two. And he could have a roof that he could use for parties. And so we sold it to him.
Ah, that's the Rose Room now.
Okay.
Yep.
And I thought that worked out real nice. It was
So
nice
it was
to have that place.
The grocery store,
And then the dining hall, and then
the dining hall, and then the bar side.
yep, all 3 buildings now.
Okay.
In the glory days of the Legion, when I was up and hopping, what was that like? The fun?
Well, of course it was. We had old time.
Yep.
And we loved to dance, so it was really nice. We would go every Saturday night when we had old time. And then all of a sudden it got mixed. You had DJs, you got in rock groups, and less old time. But it was nice. People could have weddings there, receptions, and it worked out real nice that way.
Did you notice that the young people, they don't really dance anymore? They got to jump around. Whereas I see these couples dancing on waltzes, and it's like music. They just go around and sync. And even some of the new time dances aren't too bad. But the young people really don't like dance partners anymore.
Right.
No.
They don't. And that is not as much fun when you have dance by yourself and just jiggle around.
Right.
Well, I do, but
oh, you do.
You do that on a good day.
Okay. Okay. So, what? Just for fun, what like a favorite memory of Wanda? What would you say it would be? Any idea that really stands out that you like the most?
Boy, that's a hard question to answer.
It is.
I enjoyed living there.
Yeah.
I got to know everybody. You become like a family in a small town because you know everybody. And that was nice.
Well, you earned the title of basically the one that never made any waves, and everybody likes Donna. Everybody else makes little waves here and there, and you got their groups. But I have never found anybody that said anything bad about you.
Well, wow, that's nice to hear.
It is. So that's why this is an honor doing this.
It is. It certainly is.
Okay. So some of the folks that left the biggest impact on Wanda. There's some names like that. Who do you see like, wow, that's Mr. Wanda or that's Mrs. Wanda? Who do you see? Besides your husband.
Right.
All right.
Who had a huge impact on Wanda.
Well, I guess the first one I got to know was Nick Leiter because he had the bank.
Yep.
And Nick Jennings.
That was the president and vice president, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And of course, as I met people, they all became special, really.
Yeah.
I can't really say who I had the biggest impact from.
Okay. That's fair enough.
It is.
Okay. So your husband, when you moved to Wanda, you lived in a really small house first.
Yes.
Where was that at?
It's trying to think who lives in it now.
That's like one of the Magenicus in that area, the little houses, those three, right?
I think Jacob is living in Peter and Susie's house.
Yep, that's in that area.
And then Janelle.
Janelle, and then the next house over is the one you
on
were
the corner was the one that we had.
Oh, where Caleb.
Yep, Troy's daughter lives
Alexis
there
and Caleb
now.
live there.
That's the house you used to live in.
Right there on the corner. Okay.
Now, who was that? Alexis.
That's Troy Earlbeck's daughter.
Oh.
Yep, she lives in there now.
Yep.
So then you guys moved on the end of town then in that nice, beautiful house.
Yes.
And you made that into a castle.
Gorgeous.
I love that house from the time I saw it.
Yeah.
And we decided to ask her if she would be willing to sell. And she just said, I'll talk to my children.
Wow.
And she came back and said, she'll sell it.
Oh.
And we bought it. And I love that house to this day.
Yeah.
I just hope Rachel and Liam like it just as well.
Oh, they do.
Is it Liam?
Levi. Yeah, Levi and Rachel. We're gonna have them on here later. Another show and what they did to Wanda, because what they did to Wanda is amazing. It's
Yes.
Well, yes.
I mean, that's a whole story. Won't get into too long a story. No, another thing that I was going to bring up, besides the bank, your husband Donnie, he was almost responsible for building up he was a part of the group that built the Legion. Him and like Joe Susnek, there's some people in there really instrumental. But your husband was a leader on that. I think.
I didn't know that.
Okay. Well, I just heard that he was a leader, that he was really big in that, and then he was the mayor of Wanda. And I don't know. There's a lot of things Donnie did. He was like Mr. Wanda almost. And
well, he was involved in just about everything.
Softball too.
Softball too.
He did Kids League. He did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could go on and on what Donnie all did, but this is actually about Donna. So one last thing I got to bring up about your husband. I heard rumors all the time of the crazy things he did because he worked countless hours. But anyway, I was in the bar late at night one night in the South Side, and Donnie was doing what he does. He's being goofy. All of a sudden, he decided it was rodeo time. So everybody turned their chairs around.
Oh.
Got on their chairs. They started riding chairs around the bar. So I was chasing Donnie because he was really good horse rider. I couldn't catch him. And all of a sudden his horse bucked him off. And he went over flat on his back. Laid there for a while. And I guess the race was over.
Oh my.
But there's so many, I have so many memories because I grew up with their kids. They're the same age.
Yo.
And cherish it. But I gotta tell you, before is there anything else you want to add, or is it pretty good?
I got to get over what you just talked about.
But I gotta tell you what we did to Raleigh. I told you a little bit about that. Raleigh Bureau. he had his 90th birthday.
Yep.
And he pulls pranks on everybody. He's like nonstop. If there was something to be pulled on, whether it was a snipe hunt or whatever, and then we'll talk about that later too, he did it. So his birthday came up. All the barrels and all the knots and all they're related to everybody. There's like 150 people in the Legion. Chad Burrell came up and he said, "Can you get Raleigh Burrell down there in his police uniform?" And I thought, well, we had done that earlier for Fun on Wheels. He had dressed up in his police uniform. And we had a makeshift jail, and he was running around blowing his whistle, locking kids up. We had a fundraiser. We made like $350, $1 a crack. So then I asked Raleigh, I said, "Man, our cop backed out. Is there any way that you can fill in? It's the last second I know him." Raleigh goes, "Oh," he goes, "I suppose," he goes, "but I don't want to be there very long." I said, "No, just make them arrest a few kids and make them happy. You can go home." So now we got 150 people there, probably more. I don't know. The place is packed. Raleigh pulls up outside the Legion. I get out there right away and I said, "Thanks a lot." And Raleigh goes, "You sure get me into a lot of stuff." I go, "Oh, I'm sorry about that." And he goes, "You know it's my birthday." And I go, "It is?" He goes, "I'm 90 years old." I said, "Oh, Raleigh, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have had you come down. I'm sorry." He goes, "Well, I'm here now." And I said, "Okay." So I said, "Raleigh, I'm going to open the door. Get the whistle in your mouth. And when I open the door, you come charging up there, blow the whistle, and I want you arresting everybody."
Oh,
okay. So I open the door. He just comes up and gets all up there, sits there and looking around like, "You've been had." Comes up to me later and he goes, "I'm never going to believe another word you say."
Oh my goodness.
So anything else, Sam?
You know, just like I was telling her before, weird connections in life. And, you know, my husband and your granddaughter Maggie were good friends and worked together all those years. And now I'm here talking to you on our podcast and just that small town connection.
Okay, from Sam, Tom, and our guest Donna, thank everybody for watching. This is pretty special.
It is. Have a good day.
Hey, bye now.